Today's episode features Janelle Ralston, a real estate professional whose journey started on the investment side, flipping homes during one of the toughest markets in recent history. What began in the chaos of the 2008 downturn turned into a long-term career built on resilience, relationships, and a deep understanding of what this business really is. Not just selling homes, but guiding people through some of the most overwhelming moments of their lives. In this conversation, Janelle shares the mindset shifts that shaped her success, from learning how to sell without selling to building a business rooted in genuine connection and trust. If you want to understand what it actually takes to last in this industry and find meaning in it, this is a conversation worth listening to. Let's jump in. Today, I'm very happy to have with us Janelle Ralston. And Janelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Brenda. It's great to be here. And thank you for the opportunity to talk with you today and share a little bit about real estate and some, stories and things about what is going on and what's happened in the past. And I just look forward to being here and talking with you.
Good. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we find that we talk a lot about, we eat, breathe, sleep it, and real estate just becomes a part of who we are internally, right? So tell us a little bit about your journey. I always like to hear kind of the journey of what got you into real estate and then where you are today, like up to today.
I actually started in real estate on the investment side.
Okay.
I had a partner at that point in time, and we were buying houses and flipping them, the term that you hear everywhere, and did that for several years and got started in real estate about the time that the market really tanked. Back in 2008, 9, 10, 11.
Which, if you had a lot of money back then, it was a good time to be picking up properties. Maybe
That's
not
true.
a great time to be turning around to sell them, but
There were a lot of opportunities when we first started. When the market turned and started to slow down, it got much harder to. It was great to find those opportunities, but then to turn around and sell them on the backside was the more difficult part of that equation, because then everyone was going through the economic downturn, and there wasn't a lot of money out there to sell the properties that, we were trying to put back into the market. So
ahead.
we rode that as long as we could, and then really just kind of developed a love for real estate along the way and decided I'm just going to get my real estate license. We both did that. We both got a broker license, and then just went into real estate residential sales.
That's good. I'm sure you're the same way. I kind of tell people who, if they've survived those rough times like that became, it didn't feel like it on day one, but a couple of years into it, it sure felt like it. But it's getting through that journey, that rough time journey, that we now today look back and say, no problem. We can do this.
Well, it's funny because looking back at that time, maybe it was good that I just really didn't know enough to know how bad it really was, because I never knew what it was like before then and how good it was. So maybe that was helpful, because I never really looked at it from that lens of, oh my gosh, this is horrible. Just because I was brand new to the whole experience, and maybe I just thought it was the way it was supposed to be.
You thought that was the normal.
I guess. So now I know it's not, thank goodness.
Well, and a lot's happened since then to make things for everyone. The economy has been better. Well, of course, we have ups and downs. That's normal, but ups and downs. But the economy has been better, much better than it was when you first got your real estate license.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
there anything along the way that kind of triggered for, yes, this is where I want to be. This is where I'm going to stay and make my career?
I think initially, starting out, it takes a while to get your footing and really figure out what you're doing, because in real estate, and for anyone starting out in real estate, all the classes you take, all the things you go to and learn, really doesn't teach you anything about what you're going to do on a day-to-day basis and
So
what
true.
it really takes to be in this business. I think the first 2, 3, even 4 years are such a huge learning curve, to get to the point where you feel like you kind of know what you're doing and you kind of know the business. to feel like, okay, I think I can make a go of this. I think it's going to work. This is what I want to do. And then the successes come along,
Mhm.
those feelings you get with your clients and, opportunities and wins. And then those are the moments where you just kind of go, yeah, I'm doing the right thing.
I'm where I want to be. I like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I agree completely. It's funny how many people I talk to who talk about that feeling you get about being able to help people. It's what we do.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate to be able to be a part of what is usually someone's biggest sale or purchase of their life. And we get to be a part of that journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are the times, because real estate is very stressful, and but those moments are the moments that you look back on and go, yeah, even I can deal with all that other stuff because I know that, those feelings with your client, those feelings that, I mean, just the hugs, just the thanks, just the tears sometimes, whatever goes with it, make all the other stuff kind of fade away, and you don't remember the bad parts as much.
That's true. Was there a story in there that really kind of came home to you the most?
I have my market in target area that I work in, and a lot of my clients are older, 55 plus, have lived in their house long, long time. A client that had not been upstairs in her house for 2.5 years because she couldn't get up the stairs, and coming in and helping people like that are so overwhelmed. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to start. Even their family doesn't really know where to start or what to do with the house and everything in it, much less where their mom or their dad is going to go. Sometimes those for me seem to be the most rewarding because I'm able to help them on so many different levels, and just the guidance, just being there and helping them through each step of that process, and then seeing them, the light goes on, and they're excited about where they're going and the next step, and everything that's ahead. Those to me are some of the moments I enjoy the most because those people seem to be the most overwhelmed with the whole real estate process.
And it's easy to become overwhelmed. I think we find that with a lot of buyers or sellers. That moving process is daunting for just about anyone. So
Yes.
being able to take them through that process to where it doesn't feel so daunting and they know that they have you there to hold their hand. And you kind of touched on something that we have to have contact information for a number of people. For us, I mean, we are connecting them with resources or companies or skilled trade services that they can use to help get them from whatever A is to whatever B is. I chuckled a teeny bit when you mentioned, having a client who hadn't been to her upstairs in 2.5 years. And I hardly ever go on my own upstairs. So I can understand how that would happen, but
Yeah.
especially if it had become such that you're not really able to
Yeah.
easily get up and down
Yeah.
the stairs, you would forget what you have up there.
Well, it became a real issue because she had some plumbing leaks and things like that were upstairs, and she had
And
really
maybe
hard
even
time.
unknown to
Yeah,
her or partially
exactly.
unknown.
And just the sheer fact of knowing that you can't go up there is a little crushing in and of itself, just because, half your house is up there, you even forget what's up there, you can't get up there, and her family was close by, so they could come over and help, but that's a real, hard feeling to, deal with each day of knowing, at the same time, her feeling was just like, it's this weight, in addition to the second floor actually being up there, it felt like that was just crushing her every day because she knew there was so much she needed to deal with and she didn't know what to do or how to start.
That's a great success story for you to have been able to help her through that.
Yeah, yeah. She was a neighbor, saved she's in I work that area in my neighborhood, so I send out a lot of mailers and things like that. She had saved my postcards for, I think, 6 or 7 years, and when I walked in to meet with her, she had the whole stack sitting there waiting for me when I sat down to talk with her, and it was just like, "Oh my gosh." It was, like, pretty overwhelming for me, so it was a really good feeling, a good story. I love that.
That is a great story and one that reinforces why you send those postcards too. When they work.
They work. They do.
So was there anything along the way, like I know the time that you got into real estate, there was the financial aspect, but was there kind of a journey, something you had to overcome, a mindset, something that was a bit of a roadblock that you had to kind of overcome to be able to get from step one to step two?
I think there definitely is. I mean, real estate is different than, I mean, it's a sales career, which no one really talks about that aspect. It's, oh, I love houses and I love looking at Zillow and watching HGTV. But
Not
I
what we
mean,
get to do all day.
no, no, no. That's
Not the
kind of
part
the
of our job.
last. Yeah, the last thing I want to do is, scroll through houses online. I think the sales aspect is something that was a mindset shift for me. And really embracing the sales aspect of not selling houses, but selling yourself and your services and what you can do to help other people. And I think that's the aspect that a lot of people overlook when they get into this business. Because my business is not selling houses. The houses sell themselves because that's the house your client wants. You're selling your services. You're selling yourself, the relationship and the connection and the resources and all of those things that you're doing for your client. So that was a big mindset shift for me, and really embracing this, not the sales mentality, but the aspects of learning how to do that in a relational way to where people connect with you without having to be salesy is a
Connection.
nuance and something you have to learn and embrace. And I think it took me a while to really get over that hump, because growing up, I hated selling Girl Scout cookies as a Girl Scout, and you don't really have to sell very hard. You just stand there with the box.
People walk up and know what their order will be.
Exactly, exactly. So never thought I wanted to be in sales growing up. And that was a big mindset shift for me.
That's a good one though. And you talk about connection because it really is. It's connecting with someone to sell yourself so that they understand that you can help them and that you'll make sure all the timelines get met and that they go through all the due diligence aspects that are appropriate for what they're doing, buying or selling, and that you're there to help them through the process.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I've always said though, from a house, I can't make you fall in love with any particular house and fall in love with it enough that you want to live in it and pay for it. I can't make you do that, but I can make sure that you get there the easiest way possible and with the best deal for you possible.
Exactly. Yeah, the house sells itself. It's
It
either the
does.
right house or it's not. And, working with your clients to help them find the right house is what matters.
So I know you have a team now. Is there anything that's kind of currently you're working on or anything new on the horizon coming forward soon?
We have a lot on the horizon. My team is kind of new. I was on a different team before and then went out this last fall on my own and started my own brand new team. That's been a huge challenge and extremely rewarding. Our team has a really good vibe and a really good culture. And we are just now starting two huge new projects. One is a video series on what we call Dive Day. And it originated from a place I used to work, and every Friday, one person was responsible for choosing a dive. Mom and pop, couldn't be a chain, strip center, restaurant, somewhere no one had ever been to before. And we all went and ate lunch there. So we incorporated that with our team, and we're doing what's called Dallas Dive Days. And we are highlighting little, I could not say unknown, but mom and pop type restaurants, smaller little venue places where they've got great food. And we're doing video series to introduce our clients and people moving here and people that live here to great areas or great restaurants and neighborhoods where we work and sell homes and all that, to highlight those businesses and let other people know about the great restaurants where we're going to go eat. So we're starting that series. And then we're starting another series to highlight neighborhoods to go along with that. And then we're working on a new initiative with a local animal shelter here, coordination with our sales. And we haven't quite figured it all out yet, so I can't tell you all the details. We got a lot of stuff in the works. really excited about.
Those are fun. I mean, people love to talk about great gems, hidden gems that maybe aren't so hidden, but hidden gems, places to eat. We all like good food. Animals typically speak to our souls. And then, of course, neighborhoods, all great topics. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we work with a videographer, our team does. And so we were on location all day last Friday, filming downtown and one of the restaurants down there that we found that we kind of fell in love with. So it's a lot of fun. We're super excited about it.
That sounds fun. I can't wait to see it
Me,
or follow along on your little
there you go. Follow
on your
along.
journey.
Dive day. Yeah. Mosaic dive day.
That's fun. One of the things that I always like to talk about here on this show is, of course, the title is Just Show Up. What is the one thing from a business aspect, and it could be personal, but generally it's kind of a business activity. What's the one thing that you always need to show up for, and how do you just show up?
The one thing that moves my business forward is making my phone calls and talking to my people. And that's the one thing my coach preaches all the time is make your calls. Just knowing that that is what makes my business work is just the thing that I know I've got to do. I've got to talk to my people about just not just real estate, but life. I need to call, I need to pick up the phone, which is easy for me to do anyway, until get behind your sales, hat and go, oh my gosh, I've got to call these people about real estate. And it's really just connecting with people. And I know that's what moves the needle. If I don't talk to people, if I don't make my calls, if I don't reach out to not just my current clients, but my past clients, people that I know, people, just friends, anybody, whatever. Hey, I was just driving by your house today, thinking about you. How are the kids? How's the dog? Whatever. That's what moves the needle. I mean, if I'm not doing that, then the needle doesn't move.
That's great discipline, though. Those of us who've been around and talked about making those phone calls for a while, we know it is discipline to do it. But you're right with the approach of, I just drove by your house or I drove by your neighborhood and I thought of you. That's what makes it easy. You just have to train yourself to realize that that is you making the calls. You are doing exactly what you've told yourself to do. You're just doing it in a way that's a little more bit more comfortable for you to pick up the phone and make the call.
Yeah, it's the connection, it's not,
It is.
oh, hey, I was driving by your house. Do you want to sell your house this week? That's not the conversation. It's, hey, I know I helped them move into the house, 3 years ago so their daughter could attend the school down the street, and it's calling, how's school going? How's
How's
Maggie
school?
in third grade, or whatever. Those are the things, those are the connections that's what drives my business because my clients know I'm connected to them, not just because I helped them buy a house, but because they're special to me, their family's special to me. And that's that connection that's the spark.
And for newer agents too, that is definitely the way to build that repeat business and that referral business because we're all that way. Think about, if someone calls me and asks me about my dog or something, anything that we've talked about in the past, I think, gosh, they remembered,
Yeah.
and you've made a stronger connection. So they are more likely to remember you if they're looking to buy or sell again, or if they have friends or family who are looking to buy or sell. So you're making that deeper connection.
Yeah, it's all about the relationship that you have. I mean, there's 15,000 real estate agents in the Dallas area. So, all they have to do is pick up the phone or, Google or whatever and there's a long list of people that they could call. So, if you want to be a part of their life and be a part of their real estate decisions, you need to maintain that relationship on all levels, not just buying and selling a house.
And that may be part of the answer to my next question, but are there any lessons that you have learned along the way, especially early on, but any lessons that you've learned along the way that you would impart advice for a newer agent?
I think one of the keys for me that I kind of learned along the way was you're engaging in a relationship with your clients long term. They become, my clients are mostly all all become my friends. And at the same time, you have to maintain a little bit of not detachment, but you can't get attached to the outcome for them. You know, it's their choice, it's their home that they want to live in. It's those kind of things. All you can do really is just advise them the best way that you can. Share your knowledge, share your resources, and at the end of the day, they have to make the decision that's best for them. And sometimes that's not the decision that you would make for yourself, but you have to kind of detach yourself a little bit from the outcome because it's not your outcome totally. And sometimes that's hard because you are really invested and really involved with your clients, and they may not make the best decision, but you have to honor that. You know, you have to honor them and honor their decisions and step away from those things sometimes.
You're right. And sometimes it is hard because sometimes you see them making a decision that you think, but I was listening to you when you told me this, and I'm not sure that your decision you're making right now fits for that.
Yeah.
But like you said, ultimately it's their decision.
Yeah. And that was hard for me at first too. I mean, you're really trying to, cement your knowledge, help them out, and then sometimes they just don't care. They want to make their decision based on whatever their information is. And, you have to acknowledge it. You have to be okay with that. Let them make their decisions.
It's kind of back to they have to live in it, they have to pay for it.
Yeah, it's their house, it's
It
their
is.
life, it's their choice. So
It is.
exactly.
Well, this has been fun today. Is there anything that you would like to leave our viewers with, like as kind of a final thought for the day?
A lot of people get into real estate, I think, not knowing what it's really about. But I think real estate and most of the agents here in our office with Compass and all the offices, all the brokerages, everything that we've ever been a part of that are very successful, find it really rewarding. And I know you do as well because of the connection with the people that you work with. And I think just other agents that you work with and getting on the phone and calling agents, for a property that my client's interested in or whatever. And you find good agents and you work with good people, you work with good clients. And, I've worked in two or three other industries, but I have found real estate to probably be the most rewarding for me.
That's great. And I love that. I love that we do get to do something that we enjoy doing and feel like we can bring something good to the people that we work with. And like you said, it is relationships with the other agents and it's relationships with our clients too. So it makes for a fun day.
Absolutely.
Well, Janelle, this has been a lot of fun today. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your thoughts, your journey, and some advice for our viewers too. So hopefully you'll come back again someday soon.
Absolutely. I'd love to do that. Thank you, Brenda, for having me today. I appreciated the time with you and look forward to keeping in touch.
This episode has been sponsored by HomeSmart Stars. Agents, do you feel unseen, unheard? Maybe wish you had better commission? Maybe wish that you were welcomed and encouraged to just show up as you are and be your true authentic self and have all the training and support and tools to help you thrive in your real estate career? If so, then you need to reach out to HomeSmart Stars and make HomeSmart Stars your home for real estate.